Hello. Hi there, everybody. This is Dr. Dino here once again with another Creation Science Theater.
Woohoo!
It's going to be a bit of a doozy tonight. Going to be covering a lot of stuff and going to have to do a lot of Googling, so hope you're ready. I am not alone, though. I am joined by Ember
Yo.
and AJ.
Hello.
How are y'all tonight?
Oh, so right. I got a job offer earlier today. Got to go through, do all the paperwork, all that fun stuff. But we're making progress, so good times.
Nice.
I'm fantastic. I'm ready to just tear this video a new asshole. Figuratively.
That's the spirit.
Well, it is a proof man and dinosaurs live together. It's an interesting video.
I'm excited for proof.
Seems to cobble together a lot of young Earth things and a lot of Bible things. So
I think we're off to a good start because the title says it's in HD, but I'm pretty sure it maxes out at like 480p, right?
Yep.
Yes.
480p.
So
Ultra
we've already
HD.
got some spurious claims here, and we haven't even started the video.
Here, I gotta address this. You're not wrong, Sumami. You're not wrong at all. Anyway. Well, it is an hour-long video. Might not get through all of it, but might as well get started. See what this person has to say.
Very useless thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I love this.
Portions of this video are copyrighted. Yada yada yada. Freely you have received, freely give. Jesus.
Yep. It's just, oh, that's perfect.
I like strawberry Jesus because little fruity.
Today in the 21st century, most people have been taught that the dinosaurs roamed the Earth 65 million years ago and mysteriously died off after a comet hit the Earth. Some
Mysteriously!
Mysterious.
No one understands why a giant comet caused them all to vanish.
It turns out it's hard to survive a few years of nuclear winter. When you have to eat like 500 pounds of leaves a day.
Details.
Yeah, well, I mean, it caused a crater that's 12 miles deep. So that might cause some problems.
A couple dozen across, too. It's actually pretty impressive.
Big hole in the ground.
How?
Big.
Over millions of years, the surviving dinosaurs then evolved into the birds of today. This idea, though taught in almost every school and major university, has not been supported with evidence from history or the geologic record.
Uh-huh.
Lots of things wrong there.
Yeah, just a few. Just a few.
I mean,
especially as he's showing a dinosaur graveyard.
I wouldn't say that like old dinosaurs evolved into modern birds because birds coexisted at the same time as dinosaurs did.
Yeah, for like 100 million years.
Yeah, and it's totally supported in the geologic record. Paleontologists get to a certain point around the time of looking at Archaeopteryx where you can't tell which fossil skeleton is a bird and which one is a dinosaur because they both have all the categories for that anatomy. They both share the same anatomy, so they become totally overlapped.
Yep, unless we find feathers in the fossil. And even then, not necessarily.
And it gets even
feather impressions.
Gets even harder to differentiate considering dinosaurs appear to have evolved flight at least 3 times, maybe more.
I just want to fly.
Completely independently of each other.
Yeah, creationists don't really understand that concept. They think if something evolved, it happened one time for every organism on Earth. and that's where they got that thing.
Yeah.
Why they don't like carcinization.
I am curious what graveyard this is supposed to represent, because I just learned of a really big graveyard in Wyoming. Like an entire herd of duck-billed dinosaurs just got washed away in a flood and buried together.
A flood?
Don't tell Kent.
Ugh. In a recurrent floodplain sequence. It's like floods happened year after year after year, and one of them caught a huge herd.
Let's keep going.
It gives no explanation for the vast fossil graveyards found throughout the world, nor does it explain how many kinds of animals found in the fossil record remain alive to this day. Is there a better
So we do have an explanation in that they aren't the exact same animals. They are distinct. They're just from similar groups. Or, well, it's the same groups in some cases.
explanation? Is there scientific and archaeological evidence that gives a simple explanation for what happened to the dinosaurs? In this documentary, you will be given evidence that the dinosaurs
Oh, yeah.
always existed with man. You will discover that ancient man frequently wrote of interactions with dinosaurs throughout recorded history, and you will see evidence to verify this.
Oh no.
You will also
Of
be
course.
shown evidence.
Hey,
Yeah, you
fun
might
fact.
recognize a few things, AJ.
Fun fact about the Ica stones. Kent Hovind said that he paid $15,000 for one.
Wow.
And he has multiple of them. And then Eric Hovind stole them from his dad.
Nice.
I hope he didn't really pay that much.
I mean, I kind of hope he did, but
Either way, it's funny.
Sure, I'd sell them
That's
to
true.
him for that much. Like, I could buy a new car with that.
That's true.
That there could even be some dinosaurs that have survived to the present day. Finally, we will examine one of the most accurate and trusted historical records known to man, the Bible. The Bible gives a far different version of what happened in the history of ancient man that caused the extinction of most dinosaurs. We will look at its claims in light of the evidence that has been presented in this documentary. Before we start, consider this. We all have beliefs and ideas about what we think is true. These are called our presuppositions. Sometimes our presuppositions are true and sometimes they are false. When considering evidence, it is very difficult to
We
set aside
all
the
have faith,
presuppositions.
so why not believe my favorite fairy tale?
Yep.
Since they're all equally bad, why not?
Well, the one that I believe is always the best one.
That we hold and look at evidence with an unbiased open mind. Truth is sometimes very hard to accept, especially if it is contrary to what we have believed. Much of the evidence that you will see in this video has been ignored by modern-day science, but a close examination of the evidence will reveal some startling conclusions.
Now, it is important to be open-minded. You never know, he might change all of our minds.
He might. He might. We could all be evangelicals at the end of this stream.
Well, I don't think that we will find what he considers to be evidence convincing, but I think it's important if you're a skeptical-minded content creator to approach videos like this in good faith and say, I'm gonna at least not I'm gonna at least hear the person out. You know what I mean? And not just like at least listen to what they have to say before I decide it's bullshit. But it's not looking good.
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater unless the baby said something stupid.
Forbidden history.
In 1841, the first use of the term Dinosauria, meaning terrible lizard, was created by the famous British anatomist and paleontologist Sir Richard Owen. He used the term for the first time at a meeting of the British Association for the Advancement of Science held in Plymouth. After that meeting, the word dinosaur rapidly became a popular term to describe these giant lizards that were being discovered by paleontologists.
Not lizards, but yeah.
He's in the ballpark.
Yeah. And, I mean, fun thing about Richard Owen, he realized how similar dinosaurs were to birds. But he was a very devout creationist and said, nope, cannot have that.
Eh. Oops.
He does kind of sound like spirit science. A little bit. Hopefully a little less non-consenty.
Ooh.
During the 1800s, after the first discovery of large dinosaur fossils, scientists began to search the rocks for clues to what had happened to these terrible lizards and other creatures that were buried in the earth. Unfortunately, they became focused on the rocks and buried fossils and failed to examine history for evidence of what had happened to these creatures.
Where does
So
he
what
think
exactly
the
does the
history
historical
is? If you
A
find
little weird.
stuff in the rocks, you're going to look at the rocks and the other stuff that's in the rocks to get the history of what was going on at the time that there were those rocks.
Are you saying we should pay attention to context?
No, never. That would be silly.
Yeah, how dare you? That would be awful.
I'm offended.
Record reveal about the dinosaurs. Remember that the word dinosaur was not even created until 1841. Even up until 1891, some dictionaries did not contain the word dinosaur. Prior to this, dinosaurs were known by other names.
So, sorry, the thing he's pointing to there, Dinotherium, that's not a dinosaur. That's actually like an ancient elephant. He does something really weird in this video where anything that has dino in the name, he assumes is a dinosaur. Like anything.
I mean, that's not full-on creationists do that kind of shit all the time, right? Like, oh, this thing, it looks like a maple leaf, so it must be a maple leaf, even though it's, a sugar tree. It just, it drives me crazy. At least in this case, there's a few letters in common, so.
I don't know. It's like, is his argument that the word dinosaur wasn't invented until this date, so that means dinosaurs didn't exist before that date?
That would be fun. That's like a variant of Last Tuesdayism.
Oh.
Except the universe keeps existing, and then, every Tuesday a new thing gets added both to the present and to history. That could be really fun. That might explain the Mandela effect.
I thought it was last Thursday.
Whichever.
Porque no los dos.
You got to pick one.
Culture had names for them. For example, the name that you are probably the most familiar with is dragon.
Yeah, there's already notes with this. We would have called them dragons.
And of course we've heard this one before. Carl Baugh in the longest multi-part series that's been done here on Creation Science Theater was the Carl Baugh stuff. But others, plenty of others. If it's big, it has scales, it flies, breathes fire, hoards treasure, it's clearly a dinosaur.
Obviously, has to be.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Big shout out to Dwayne Gish's Parasaurolophus.
Gish had a pet dinosaur?
Well, he created this idea.
Oh my goodness. I love it so much.
Also, apparently I didn't know how to spell his name, but close enough.
Yeah, this is definitely stuff I've seen in Kent Hovind's seminar.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
It's like, oh, stop it. That hurts. It burns.
Oh no, it's so fire.
Roast chicken.
Even up until 1946, the word dragon was found in dictionaries and has in its definition this telling description.
I mean, it's still in dictionaries.
Right?
Yeah. Like they're saying the word is now rare, not actual dragons, right?
Yeah, like use of the word. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, now rare a huge serpent. Yeah, that like it was less commonly used to refer to serpents specifically. They're not saying that the creature itself is rare.
Yeah, because dragons are actually quite common. You can see them on, flags all over Wales, for example.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I actually like definition 7 here. An armored tractor.
Okay, yeah.
Dragon was found in dictionaries and has in its definition this telling description. Names from other cultures include some of the following. Dragon history is nearly universal throughout the world's ancient cultures. Where did this global concept originate? Why is it so universal among cultures who were separate?
So, a lot of cultures have live in areas with reptiles, so they have mythological figures that are reptiles. They also do this with mammals. Like, just about any culture that lives near the ocean will have some whale-like or shark-like mythical figure. It's just a common thing.
Yeah, and I take English. I take English with the issue. Issue with the English. A wyvern is distinctly not a dragon. It's a large reptilian-ish flying animal, but it only has the wings and the two legs, sort of like a chicken.
It depends. You can also define it as a type of dragon, specifically a bipedal dragon with two wings.
I mean, D&D makes the case that it's a dragonkin in a cladistic sort of way, but I don't like it. Nope.
If you were doing a D&D campaign though, you probably see wyverns like early on, but like an actual dragon would be like much later. Like they're much more ferocious and like bigger.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you need a lot more spell slots and magic items to take on those guys.
So then again, D&D has like 30 different draconic enemies.
Well, I mean, it can get pretty detailed.
Yeah, I don't know shit. So
tangent.
Separated by continents. How did societies throughout the world describe, record?
Ah, dang it! We need Beamsy in here so he can say this.
Are these new pronouns?
Idraig goch. It's in the neighborhood. I'm sure my accent is awful, but we do our best.
The one for Vietnam seems racist. I'm not sure, but I'm going to assume it's racist.
I have no idea.
I'm not touching it.
Did he have Japanese here? I didn't see it.
Who knows?
No, he didn't. But like with, I mean, I don't know if Vietnamese, because I know in Japanese, like L and R are wrapped into the same sound. I don't know if Vietnamese is like that as well. Could be.
And carve these creatures with such uniformity if they had not been eyewitnesses of them. Let's first examine the written historical record and then move on to the physical evidence. The reports of dragons ranged from personal encounter reports and science papers to legendary stories like Beowulf and the Loch Ness Monster. A well-known old science book, the Historia Animalium, claims that dragons were not extinct in the 1500s, but the animals were said to be extremely rare and relatively small by then. In 1572,
Gee, I wonder if they could be referring to a real reptilian animal. Odd.
I mean, so obviously I don't have a copy. I wish I did because I freaking love old books. But I would be willing to place a bet that tome also includes unicorns and pixies and all sorts of interesting things.
Alchemy.
Hmm.
Yeah, it could. And there are at least a few different accounts too in like medieval history. Like St. George and the Dragon is very famous. More likely than not, it was just a Nile monitor. Because
It's
George
possible.
he was probably like 5 feet tall, and Nile monitors get up to like 8 feet long. So it would have been huge compared to him.
Okay, yeah, that's a big scaly boy. Tangent for a second. I'm gonna borrow AJ's chat. Mithria. I hope I pronounce it correctly. I see you've got an astrophysics exam, and there's black hole stuff. I'm curious. What are your thoughts on Kerr's paper about the potential mathematical impossibility of singularities? Because it's a thing I've been dying to talk to someone about, and nobody wants to talk about it. So yeah. All right, I'm done.
Maybe a brief summary for the interested layman.
Okay, TLDR. Schwarzschild. No, yeah. Solved general relativity equations for a non-rotating black hole. And that's how we get the singularity and so on and so forth. But the problem is, basically everything in the universe does rotate. Kerr's the one who came up with the solution for rotating black holes and basically gave us the ring-shaped singularity. That's where the model's been for ages. And Hawking and Penrose toyed with the idea, did some math, basically did graphs with light rays to prove that everything inside the event horizon of a black hole has to terminate at the ring singularity. But now Kerr has come out with another paper showing that not only can you have these limited light rays be parallel without ever intersecting and not terminate in a singularity, but that mathematically there isn't actually a singularity. And it's super fascinating to me.
What if at the center of every black hole is a trinity?
Well, now you're going to hurt my head.
Okay, hypothetical. Could you have a binary black hole system?
I mean, yeah. Because once it forms into a black hole, it's the same gravity as it's always had. It's just condensed. So if they're at a distance, they won't, like if you replace our sun with a black hole of equal mass, it won't change our orbit at all. So you could replace the sun with a black hole and Earth with a black hole, and then you did have a black hole orbiting a black hole.
It would change our temperature, but not
yeah.
Yeah, we'd all die within a couple of years.
We'd have
Probably
like
sooner,
I think it's like
yeah.
7 minutes before everything went black, something like that.
Yep.
Well, yeah, 8 minutes ish for the last photon from the sun to reach us. But I mean, there's a few other issues, like depending on if it's an active black hole and it has the accretion ring around it. Some of them only emit radio waves as the infalling matter heats up, but some of them get into gamma rays and X-rays, and if we get one of those, we dead.
Oh, lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Stars are weird and terrifying.
Scientist named Ulysses Aldrovandus carefully described a small dragon seen along a farm road in northern Italy. The rare creature
Does it
was
have 2
killed by the
legs?
farmer when he struck it on the head.
Why does
I
it
mean,
have
to
2
be fair,
legs?
this looks like a medieval illustration. They weren't great. Have you
That
ever
is the
looked at like
goofiest.
medieval paintings of cats?
No, I'll add that to my to-do list. But they knew what cats
Yeah.
looked like.
You'd think they would.
Oh no. These are
Looks like-
freaking they're like memes.
It looks like Alice in
Medieval
Wonderland.
memes.
Yeah,
Wow.
like the
You'd
cats.
think they'd know how to draw cats.
Is this better, or is Cats the movie better, or which one is worse?
I hate them all.
I'd say Cats the movie.
I do like that little guy with the crown off on the side there.
Oh wait, which? Oh
I guess
yeah.
I guess the medieval artists were not furries.
Or a
Those
very
aren't that
special kind of furry.
Hmm.
With his walking stick. Aldrovandus obtained the dead body and made measurements and a drawing. He even had the animal mounted for a museum. It had a long neck, a very long tail, and a fat body. The skeletons of a number of ancient reptile-like creatures called Tenostropius have similarities to the basic description that he gave.
Okay. Okay. I mean, Tanistropheus, I think they were gone by the end of the Triassic, so it's a bit of a time gap, but okay.
Maybe it was a time travel.
One dragon story
Well, I mean, hey, you said he collected the body. Where's the body? Show me the body.
Yeah, Pixar didn't happen.
from the ancient land of Sumer in Babylon tells of the hero Gilgamesh. He decided to make a name for himself by traveling to a distant land to cut great cedar trees needed for his city. He reached the forest with 50 volunteers and discovered a huge reptile-like animal which ate trees and reeds. The story simply says that Gilgamesh killed it and cut off its head for a trophy. Thousands of dragon stories and pictures can be
Okay.
found in ancient Chinese books and art. One legend tells about a famous Chinese man named Yu. The story says after the Great Worldwide Flood, Yu surveyed the land of China and divided it into sections
I did not.
to drain the water off.
He said you surveyed the land. I said I did not.
Oh.
I'm doing a who's on first thing. Don't mind me.
I got it.
The sea and help make the land livable again. Many snakes and dragons were driven off from the marshlands when Yu created the new farmlands. Some old Chinese books even tell of a family that kept dragons and raised them to use their blood and body parts for medicine.
Yes, okay. Legends of Dragons. Can you show me a body? Because believe it or not, eyewitness testimony, if you can even call this that, doesn't really mean much unless there's evidence to back it up.
Well,
Yeah,
here's the
and-
thing about that. Since there's stories of dragons in European culture and Chinese culture and every culture in between, surely there must be a real thing they're basing these on, right?
Surely.
Yeah,
And
and
maybe
they-
Bree, do you have an opinion on that?
Yes, this proves that the Earth is young. Jesus rode a dragon. We call it a pterodactyl. And Kansas City was buried by a mud flood. So that's
That all checks out.
I heard somebody in Dallas, Texas saw a pterodactyl. So
yeah.
by the airport.
That's what I hear too. I hear from top authorities, right? That these
Yeah,
things are happening.
He didn't have his GPS or his dash cam turned on though, unfortunately.
Yeah, they told you
Oh.
about it. So,
Oh,
Yeah.
but so is this dragons or dinosaurs? Is that what we're going with today?
proof
Yes.
that humans and dinosaurs live together.
Okay.
And so far,
Well-
we're knee deep in dragon legends.
I'm sorry I was a little late. I was finishing my dinner. I don't like to eat on
It's fine, it's
camera.
fine.
All you people when you're eating and things, I'm just gonna be over here with my coffee.
I'm a breatharian.
I had firecracker shrimp. It was good.
Ooh. Tasty.
I ate bugs.
I had cornbread and a flavored tortilla.
Ooh, you guys are gonna love this, by the way. It's nothing to do with the topic at all, but I just did it. That happened this morning, so I did it. My roach guy finally got the glow spots in. So I got the email that they got the glow spot roaches in, and I went and placed an order for them. So now I got roaches coming to glow in the dark. I'm so excited.
Okay.
I can't be happy about that. I'm sorry.
They're so cute though. They got little wiggly antennas.
I'm sure they are. Just
And they taste great.
They do, and there are lots of protein. You guys will be coming to me for your protein when after the bombs all go off. Y'all be like, we'll all be radiated, and you'll all be bald and have tumors growing all over, and you'll be like, Bree, can we have some of your roaches to eat? And I'll be like, nah, I told you guys to get some glow in the dark roaches. And that way I can find them in the dark because there won't be any power.
If you, well, I'll change it a little. If a lizard ate a glow in the dark roach, would its poop glow in the dark?
Oh, if you've never seen the picture of the frog that ate the Christmas light? That was so funny.
I have not. I can imagine what it looks like.
Yeah. But I think the most of the glowing stuff is gone. I actually shared something on my YouTube feed a couple days ago about bat poop that glows in the dark because they eat the glow worms and stuff in the caves.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Huh,
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
You remind me of a show called Sequest where they found giant squid poop that glowed in the dark. Ember's probably the
Sequest
only
was
one here
awesome.
for Sequest. Freaking Rob Schreider or Roy Schreider, and who's the kid? The young boy.
I know. I was thinking that too. The kid, he had those piercing blue eyes, and he hung out with the dolphin all the time. But I can't remember his name.
Yeah, and the dolphin talked. Why are we talking about Sequest in a Dragon stream?
You brought it up.
Talk about Sequest. Yeah, I know I did. I'm terrible. You guys have to keep me reined in. If you invite me in here, you have to keep me on track. I will ramble.
Jonathan Brandis. Thank you, Marty.
Jonathan Brandis, there you go. Stream. And he died, didn't he?
Did he?
He's not alive anymore. I don't think.
I thought he just retired because he
that usually means someone died.
Well, I mean, Will Wheaton just made his money, said "fuck this" and I'm out. People do that from time to time.
Somebody play the video.
Somebody will tell us if he died.
I'm looking him up.
In 1611, the emperor appointed the post of royal dragon feeder. An Irish writer recorded an encounter with a large beast with iron-like spikes on its tail, which pointed backwards. Its head had the shape of a horse's, and it had thick legs with strong claws. These details match features
what kind of horses you been riding, my friend? Sorry about that.
That looks like an uncomfortable ride. But you know what's a much more comfortable ride? Tapirs.
He said the head was shaped like a horse's head.
No, I'm talking about Stegosaurus's head, not shaped like a horse's head at all. If you're riding some of the head that's shaped like that, it's not a horse.
And also, their spikes don't point backwards except in bad old illustrations.
Yeah.
Well, do you consider a horse's head to include like its neck, or are we just talking about like a horse's face?
Just like for the skull of a horse. A skull of a horse and a skull of a Stegosaurus don't look anything alike, in my opinion.
But this image, though, you don't think it looks like the same shape as a horse's like face?
I mean,
if I had to think of a modern animal that this face looked like, I would say more like a deer than a horse. But
yeah, because he's got like a snout.
Yeah, a little narrower, or a goat maybe.
Yeah, yeah, that's like a stretch.
Yeah, if you put ears on it, it'd go a long way. Put ears on it, it could be like not even a llama, something that longer nose than that.
Ooh, but what if they did have like big old ears? Like we don't know because the soft tissue doesn't get preserved. Yeah, that'd be neat.
As far as we know, mammals are like the only animal group to have external ears, and not even all of them do. Like monotremes don't have external ears.
Pinnipeds. They secondarily lost
theirs. Well, pinnipeds
or not. Phocids. Phocids are the pinnipeds. The phocids and obodontids are the groups that lost or that have secondarily lost their ears. That's seals and walruses, but fur seals and eared seals kept their
Mhm.
flappy little coverings.
Sea lions too, right?
See, they're with the fur seals.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
Dinosaurs like Kentrosaurus and Stegosaurus, which had sharp, pointed spines on their tails, thick legs, strong claws, and long horse-like skulls. The respected Greek explorer and historian Herodotus described small flying reptiles in ancient Egypt and Arabia. These animals sound amazingly like the small pterodactyl Rhamphorhynchus. They had the same snake-like body and bat-like wings.
And now I'm
So-
curious.
The snake-like body and bat-like wings. I wonder if they aren't talking about subtropical fruit bats, flying foxes, mega bats.
Kind of what I was thinking is if you don't actually hold a bat to see that it's furry, you easily could confuse it for a reptile if you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And I'm also thinking of the Mesoamerican Quetzalcoatl, is it?
No, Camazotz is the bat. Camazotz is the bat, and Quetzalcoatl is the serpent. Maybe they had a baby. Maybe they had a baby that was a Rhamphorhynchus.
Sure.
and also, just a quick Google. Apparently, Herodotus talked about flying snakes, like specifically snakes.
I mean, maybe we've heard legends about those, up to the present day.
Snakes, actually.
Can I bring something up real quick? Just here, let me show. It's related to what you're talking about. I promise. There you go.
Sure.
The range of flying foxes. Check that out right there. In Egypt, in Arabia.
Yeah.
They were
weird.
What do you know? Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about that.
Although, again, with that said, flying snakes or gliding snakes are a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know in
right?
Arabia, but they are a thing. They jump from tree to tree.
They spread. They flatten their body out to. It's like a ribbon.
Yeah. I'm waiting for them to surpass flying squirrels and get to true flight, and then we'll have these, corkscrew little fuckers shooting through the air.
And there's frogs that do it that have gigantic webbing on their fingers because they don't live in the water; they live up in the treetops. This huge webbing on their fingers that they glide with too.
Sorry,
and we all know Drake.
Realize I wasn't sharing visuals.
There you go. Hell yeah! Isn't that so wicked looking?
Yeah, they're cute.
And also nightmarish.
Nah, they're adorable.
Snakes.
But I have a slightly harder time believing this thing could wrap its body around us, around a branch.
Well, you think if it was wingless, they would say it was wingless, though. I don't know. The Chinese dragons are wingless, though, and the flying snakes actually live in parts of China.
Can I share my screen really quick? I just wanted to show you guys some fossil evidence that I found.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Oh, alien and predator.
So
definitive evidence.
I mean,
there's lichen on the rock. I think there's lichen on the rock too. So.
I mean, this is more convincing than anything in the video, I think.
So what is this? Xenomorph and Yujatu?
Yes.
Yeah, you stop sharing.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody say the name of the dinosaur on the screen. The dinosaur.
Rhamphorhynchus.
Rhamphorhynchus. Isn't that such a fun word to say?
Rhamphorhynchus.
Take a girlfriend on a date.
Rhinkus?
You want to go down?
There's some interesting ways you could go that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're.
I don't know if my own roller skating rink can call it
fossils of them, actually. Also, he misspelled it.
Of course.
Well, can expect him to be a certifiable genius and a good speller.
Oh, is this an actual fossil?
So cool. God, I love that tail.
Yeah, they're beautiful pictures of them. or beautiful fossils of.
This is Lagerstätten, right?
It's in a Lagerstadt. Yeah.
Look at that.
Uh,
AJ, do you have a tail like this?
No, not anymore.
Oh,
I got my tailbone removed.
Wait,
Oh.
sorry. This just popped up. A fish that caught a Rhamphorhynchus.
Lucky Zigvactus.
Damn.
And then
Yes,
apparently died.
I'm expecting that to Zigvactus. I'm not sure, but it looks
No,
like
this is way too small for his surfactants.
See, if a creationist saw this, they would think that this happened like while they were alive and they fossilized in this position, rather than just that they're both dead like this.
So some things got
sec.
flash frozen too. Seeing like
Wait,
the mammoths got frozen.
Sorry, I
standing
have to
up
point
and
this
all
out. At least going by Google Images, with how many of these there are, this happened more than once.
It does seem to be a slight defect in their design, I suppose.
Well, so I want to show you guys something about ecology here. Look at the can you scroll down on the pictures to the left a little bit? Just a little bit. There you go. Look at the structure of the beak here, or I guess you call it
This
a
one?
beak. It's a bird. No, the one next to it, that one. If you look at that beak structure is looks very, very good for something called skim feeding that seabirds do today. It's where they fly across the surface.
I'm pretty sure that has not been borne out by like following data. Like I'm pretty sure that was discredited.
You think so? Okay, I don't know. I'm just saying
I'm pretty sure it was.
that would correlate with them getting eaten by giant predatory fish.
Well, it looks to me like this thing would choke on something. Is that what happened to the other fossils, or is it the other way around?
No, it looks like the fish just grabbed it.
Yeah.
So the fish is eating the bird.
The pterosaur, yeah.
Fish did not fuck around back in the day.
Is it like a flying fish? Like it jumps out of water?
I mean, could have jumped out maybe, or maybe the pterosaur like fell in and it attacked.
Well, there's no reason to believe the pterosaurs couldn't
same
sit there and float. Like the pterosaurs wouldn't have been able to float on the surface like a loon does. You know,
that one makes it look like it has arms.
It wanted a hug.
That's not the fish's arms.
Oh, right.
Or is it? It makes it look like the fish is holding it.
Well, this would have been a ray fin fish, so it would have had.
That's still really neat that happened more than once. Like when that happens in like the fossil record, that's a pretty good indicator that that's a common occurrence. It's neat. Huh. Didn't expect to learn something from this video, but inadvertently.
Surprise.
Oh, well.
Many had been killed near the city of Buto in Arabia. He was shown a canyon with many piles of their backbones and ribs. Herodotus said that these animals could sometimes be found in the spice groves. They were small in size and of various colors. Large numbers would sometimes gather in the frankincense trees. When workers wanted to gather the tree's valuable juices, they would use smelly smoke to drive the flying reptiles away. The well-respected Grecian philosopher Aristotle said that in his time it was common knowledge that creatures like this also existed in Ethiopia. Similar animals, 3 feet long.
They're called bats. They're called mega bats.
Yeah. I think it is. I think they are just mistaking fruit bats.
Yeah. And they follow because you saw on the map I pulled up. The furthest north they went, they followed the Nile Valley up to the Mediterranean. That was about as far north as they went, but that's the area that they're talking about here. So
I thought the map you showed, like they stretched all across Southeast Asia too.
Yeah, they did, but the furthest north that they went was I think it was
okay.
Yeah, Aristotle was talking about Ethiopia. That reminds me of how Plato was talking about how, oh yeah, according to our friends over in Africa, that at the libraries and shit, there were unicorns. Now those guys were talking about rhinos, but Plato didn't know that.
Well, like
is this the first actual fossil in this video in the back right here?
Yeah, there you go, Rhamphorhynchus skull. Yeah,
maybe.
anything south of Egypt would have been Ethiopia though, right?
Ooh.
At that time.
So, I don't know.
Plato's time. I don't know. I know Ethiopia is like the oldest continuous kingdom on the planet, so that's.
I thought that the Israelites just considered people that were not from there to be Ethiopians. I could be wrong on that.
I have no idea. Right, I am not an expert on historical geopolitics, sadly. But could be.
Well, you should be an expert on it and then tell us the answer.
I care about stuff that happened before humans.
All right. Well, animals are usually what I talk about. Who's here? Who's our geopolitical expert? That's who we need. Or paleo. I guess paleo would be like historical, right? Historical geo expert. Is that your field of expertise, Ember? Hand it to us.
No. I'm cosmology and astrophysics, but I do enjoy facts and history about ancient times. According to the great sages of the Google, Ethiopia was just a reference to the modern day nation of Sudan, the Upper Nile area, basically anything south of Egypt that wasn't something else.
So, okay. I was going to say pass the ball to AJ, but looks like you got that Google won the day. I know AJ could have slam dunked it though. He would have had it.
Oh yeah.
Basically, he said that just a minute ago that it's from someplace else. That's what the ancient Mediterranean people thought it was from somewhere else in Africa besides Egypt.
So, speaking of skulls, though, I actually commissioned a friend to 3D print a little dinosaur skull for me. Gonna pick it up in the next few days. I'm excited. Turned out good.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool! I so want somebody to make me a the Pulmonoscorpio Kirkinensis, the giant cat-sized scorpion. I want somebody to print that, make me one of those. They never have it on bone clone or anything like that. That'd be expensive to commission, though.
I mean,
pretty big. Yeah, that
like that.
Yeah. Well, no, the famous fossil. There's a really nice one. It's a really well preserved. There, yes, that one.
This one.
Ooh. I mean, obviously, we have to put like things to connect the tail, but the Telsons. But yeah, that fossil. Actual size. That'd be so cool to have it hanging on the wall behind me, like right here. I'd have to take down my piranha plant and put it someplace else. But which one did you get? Oh my gosh! Is it going to be real actual size? That's so cool.
Yes.
What's
and I chose to have it bone colored.
What's the cost, if you don't mind us asking? Because I'm kind of interested.
What's a replica?
Why don't you? You talk to me. We'll talk about it off live stream.
Just real quick, the file was free, but my friend charges $1 an hour for friends. He charges more for other people. So I only have to pay $5.
Nice. Bonus. Yeah. While we're on the subject of Microraptors, this would be a good time to plug the fact that Doc Dino has a Patreon. The channel isn't quite up to monetization yet, but if you like what Doc does, you can support for what's your Microraptor? $1 a month?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Yeah.
Are your tier levels different raptors? Are your tier levels different raptors? What, Microraptor, Velociraptor, Deinonychus, Utahraptor? No?
Sorry, girlfriend blowing her nose.
Oh. Is your girlfriend a raptor?
Yeah, we've been over this. She's like an Austroraptor compared to me.
Austroraptor, okay.
Nice.
But
so, what are your tier levels on your Patreon? It's interesting.
Microraptor, Velociraptor. I think it just goes to Utahraptor and then Megaraptor.
No Dakota or Deinonychus? I guess Deinonychus doesn't have raptor in the name though, so it doesn't fit
Yeah,
the theme.
Dakota
Alas.
Raptor is like half a turtle.
Shh.
Turtle on the half shell.
Someone got like part of a turtle shell mixed in with a description of a raptor.
Yeah.
It,
Oh my.
it's
But
a
anyway,
little
you can find Doc's Patreon, patreon.com/DocTordino, spelled, well, you don't have the full thing on screen, but it's DOKTORDEINO.
Grazie. Ember has one too. I'm sure AJ does, and Bree too. So if you like any of us, feel free to check us out. We all have videos and stuff.
Yeah.
We
We're
do
around.
things. Yeah.
If you like stuff, come watch us because we do stuff and things like
Mhm.
this.
Were also described in India by the geographer Strabo. In Pliny's book Natural History, written around 70 AD, he says, Africa produces elephants, but it is India that produces the largest, as well as the dragon. Claudius Aelians, a Greek...
Is that it?
The largest what? Largest elephant?
Largest.
Produces
And
the largest.
Also, is this Pliny the Elder or Pliny the Younger?
I assume elder. I thought he said elder.
He said Pliny.
African bush elephants are the biggest elephants, so he's wrong here. But maybe he's talking about Paleoloxodont.
It's a definition game. Okay, so I looked it up and it's you know how, remember when he showed the definition earlier and it said a dragon could also mean a large serpent?
Yeah, it sounds
when
like
he was
it's a big
talking about a
snake.
large serpent. His quote was, a dragon could strangle an elephant with its tail, but he was referring to the very large snakes that could take
Live in
down an
Southeast
Indian
Asia.
elephant. Yeah. Pythons is
where
what's
these-
believed.
Well, they lived all the way, pythons, large pythons, they're in, I'm staying all over myself, in the western parts of the Indian subcontinent, really close to the ancient Near East. There would have been trade like in exotic animals, and big snakes probably were on the menu of items you could buy to win over the sultan or whatever, for the menagerie.
And it's also worth noting that Pliny didn't actually observe any of these creatures. He was referencing stories he'd heard from reputable sources.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think
and
that
also, I looked up a continuation of the text. It is Pliny, right?
I've always said Pliny, but who the hell knows
Pliny
anymore?
Well, he continues. The dragon is a serpent destitute of venom. Literally says it's a snake.
Yeah, it's basically saying it's a constrictor right there.
Uh-huh.
It's a giant constrictor, but we're not going to talk about that.
No.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that Pliny could have seen large snakes in a menagerie or something. I mean, he saw tiger. I believe Pliny saw tigers like in the flesh, and leopards and stuff, which he wouldn't have seen back in Greece or Rome. Other places where
Rome, I believe, Italy.
Tony the tiger.
He's great.
Oh, the Greeks probably would have loved Tony the tiger.
Great.
I'm ready to see this proof.
Let's do it.
Where is it?
Is the largest, as well as the dragon. Claudius
Unleash the dragon.
a Greek military writer of the 2nd century who wrote De Natura Animalium around 200 AD, in his work stated, the Phrygian history...
Also, sorry, I got a comment. Like, wow, that is a choice for your font. Like, that is a choice for colors.
Some red and teal.
I mean, it works.
Also states that
it works to mess with my
Dragons
eyes.
are born which reach 10 paces in length. 10 paces. That's about 30 feet.
How many shillings is that?
I only know cubits.
You're
But-
gonna have to convert it to stones before I can even start helping you.
Isn't that weight? What is the average stride length?
I believe
2.5 feet.
It's like
2.4.
2 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 2 feet. So, no,
Somebody Google it.
that's like 20 feet. In
The-
other words,
It's like 25
Yeah.
feet.
The people's feet were smaller back then.
oh yeah, I'll shrink it
They were
down a little,
malnourished.
so like 16 feet maybe.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the king's foot of imperial measurement lore was 12 whole inches. So, there's that.
Hmm.
The city of Neuralic in France was renamed in honor of the
Well, wait, is that by real inches or Tinder inches?
Tinder inches. Oh,
killing of a dragon there. This animal was reported to be bigger than an ox and had long, sharp, pointed horns on its head.
Reported.
A
In
rhino?
1271 AD,
Reported.
the great explorer Marco Polo recorded in his writings that the Chinese emperor had dragons that pulled his chariot on special occasions. And in his book, The Travels of Marco Polo, Polo records the following about the Chinese province of Kharazan. He states, "Here are seen huge serpents 10 paces in length."
Okay, that is an ugly Deinonychus.
They've got the, I don't know what you call it, not a dew claw, but they've got the claw thing.
Oh,
it
the-
looks
the
like the
ha-
one from there's this action figure set when I was a kid called Dino Riders, and their Deinonychus looked just like that. And it had a little saddle you could put on the back, and the guy would ride it. And had big
Hmm.
guns on it. It was really
For some reason, I
Girthy.
thought you were going to say Dino Crisis, but
look at the dew claw.
yeah, what in the heel?
Do you
And
see the
it
dew?
has
it's got
2
a dew
fingers.
claw. And his wrists are broken.
Tiny tail.
It's limp wristed.
Oh, and to
He's also got
quote-
some scabies or something.
maybe
Yeah.
Some kind of
to quote a
cysts or
great
sores.
philosopher,
Look,
what is
guys,
up
they
with
didn't
your
have the best hygiene
face?
in the Mesozoic, okay? You could roll in the dust.
Look at his knee. Or I don't know if you call that his knee, but
Oh, it's all puckered,
Elephant knees.
puckered knees.
You need the extra skin for when you get bitten
need
by the
moisturizer.
microraptors.
he's dried out.
Moisturize, girl, moisturize.
And 10 spans in girth of the body. At the forepart near the head, they have 2 short legs, having 3 claws, like those of a tiger, with eyes larger than a 4-penny loaf and very glaring. The
Anything
jaws
but
are wide
metric.
enough to swallow a man.
Does anyone today know how big a 4-penny loaf was?
I have no idea. What is that?
Do those don't look like a tiger's claws to me.
Nope.
Oh, it's like those big loaves you buy at the grocery store.
Like the ones that we now slice up and call sliced bread?
No, like these, like a big bun.
Oh, oversized biscuits. Kaiser rolls.
Galoshes? I don't know.
See, it's hard to tell scale because there's no rock hammer next to them.
It had eyes bigger than one of those? I don't think so. Bigger than one of those rolls? No way. On a raptor?
It's just this. This doesn't sound like no raptor. Sorry. I forget what's this guy's name. Sorry, Ichabod.
And this guy's creeping up on me in subs.
The teeth are large and sharp, and their whole appearance is so formidable, that neither man nor any other kind of animal can approach them without terror. Others are met with a smaller size, being 8, 6, or 5 paces long.
The teeth?
No,
The teeth are
the reptiles. Honestly,
really
I
badly
feel like
written.
he's just talking about like like crocodiles. Like I feel everything he said there could describe a big crocodile.
Yeah, actually, many. I was googling the Marco Polo reporting dragons that the Chinese emperor had, yada yada. The consensus seems to be that he was talking about Chinese alligators or crocodiles that would occasionally pull the emperor's chariot or whatever the fuck they said.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, or maybe a Komodo dragon. I don't know if the Chinese knew of Komodo dragons, but maybe.
An Anglo-Saxon chronicle from AD 793 reported, "This year came dreadful forewarnings over the land of the Northumbrians, terrifying the people most woefully.
I
These
love the
were immense
background
sheets
noise.
of light rushing through the air."
He has an
The
okay
war horns.
background music.
How
Sometimes it's
and whirlwinds and fiery dragons flying across the firmament. Alexander the Great reported that when he conquered...
How does one fly across the firmament? Like, I could see flying through the sky, flying through the heavens even, but we know because of all the flat earth nonsense that's come up lately, the firmament is most definitely a solid thing. Most peculiar. I wonder if there's a translation issue. Not that that's ever happened multiple times
maybe
on this very stream.
Can't it also just mean the sky? Like up way high?
Well, so yeah, I guess it goes back to translating back and forth and interpretations and things. As I understand it, and my understanding comes from Dean Odell, so many grains of salt on that one. Heaven and firmament are interchangeable in both Hebrew and Greek. So heaven could mean the sky, open expanse, etc. The firmament definitely means a dome that was beaten hard and solid and a shell around the earth, probably metal, but also molten glass, but also sapphire, but never mind that. I suppose it's possible someone could poetically say firmament when they mean heaven, but there's a lot of reaching. There's a lot of ifs built in there.
Yeah, it literally means a dome, but I think it's just somebody misinterpreting it, or maybe saying from our perspective down on the flat earth, looking up, it would seem like they were flying through the firmament or the sky. It would be interchangeable.
Could be.
Parts of what is now India in 326 BC. His soldiers were scared by great dragons that lived in caves. In 275 AD, legend says that George
Cave dragons,
a Roman soldier in the guard of the Emperor Diocletian,
There
killed a dragon while in Libya on a crusade.
But also, Bree, am I mistaken, or does that look like it's modeled after a baryonyx?
The head certainly does, or some early Spino of some
Also has the big claw down
degree. Yeah, but you think about it, if it's in the UK though, right? Baryonyx would make sense as far as maybe having seen a fossil of that nature, but I'd wager this picture was made after the discovery of baryonyx and was specifically modeled on baryonyx, especially based on the fact that it has the hook-like fishing claws. You see those down there?
Yeah.
The front arms, as opposed to the back arms. Of course, though, you don't want to get those confused. But yeah, it has the big fishing hooks, and it's what's the nasal horn that you see, and pretty much all the
just
members.
A crest.
Yeah, just a crest. Yeah. So,
According to legend, in the 7th
Here we
century,
go.
a dragon named Garguet rose from the waters of the Seine River in France. Unlike the typical dragons of mythology, this one did not breathe fire, but rather was a water dragon. The monster proceeded to lay waste to the
It's breathing fire
countryside around
there.
Paris.
Fire, I see it.
I was just gonna say it doesn't breathe fire. Okay, it's fine.
Debunked.
Be more
Debunked.
careful with your
Owned.
visuals, man.
Cell phone, bro.
I'm too much of a rational skeptic to let that one get past me.
Mhm.
I can see that this is breathing fire.
The Archbishop of Rouen accompanied
Are we gonna use the Loch Ness monster soon? Because it seems like we're going to.
Oh, we
Loch Ness
will.
Monster.
We will.
by only a condemned
Also, yeah, I just want to say sorry for like playing it just before people talk. There's a little bit of lag, and it's enough it catches it. I don't mean to cut y'all off.
prisoner set out to stop the beast. They captured the dragon and led it back to Paris, where it was slain and burned. The head, however, was saved and mounted on a building. In commemoration of this event, architects began to design gutter spouts in the shape of the garguet, and eventually in the shape of all manner of bizarre creatures now called gargoyles. There are thousands of other legends of people seeing and killing dragons throughout history. Now let's take a look at the physical evidence that has been found that points to the existence of dinosaurs with man. What you're about to see, you will not see on the Discovery Channel, the History Channel, in the science textbooks, or in any secular publication. If you happen to see or hear something about any one of these discoveries, you will find that they will be attempts at debunking or proving them to be fake, fraud, or forgery. However, with careful examination of the facts that surround these discoveries, the truth is undeniable.
Somebody play the
Absolutely
X-Files theme.
undeniable.
A lot of alliteration up in there. I
can
gotta
just
say.
hear the
And I'm
X-Files
here
theme
going
playing when
off
that guy
about
talks.
And I'm muted, but I can already see an Ica stone, and I'm ready to believe.
Ica Stone.
Ica stone.
Yeah.
Is it Ica stone or Ica stone?
Yeah, Ica Stone.
Ica.
Doesn't really matter, but yeah, I've
It's
heard
an
Ica
icky stone.
Well, they were covered in chicken feces.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
baked. Yeah, that's the secret.
I mean, hey,
Makes it look
potato
old.
Pomeranian, you know?
I'm
highly
considering
technical
that.
ancient civilization of the Nazca Indians flourished on the southern coast of Peru from around 1 AD to 750 AD. This culture produced an array of beautiful crafts and technologies such as ceramics, textiles, and geoglyphs. It is still not understood exactly how the Nazca produced their incredible geoglyphs.
Now, the geoglyphs are pretty cool, but I think their construction is mostly understood.
Yeah, they had really
Yeah.
big hills. They had high hills they stood on. That's my guess.
I'm saying that maybe even the perspective was forced, because notice how one of this guy's wings is much longer than the other. Like you need to be looking at it at the right angle for it to look the same size.
Well, I mean, they were made by people who were on the ground. Now, why they were made, that's all speculation. But how they were made, it was people on the ground doing their best to execute giant shapes that would be visible from the air. Maybe it was for the gods. Maybe it was for the aliens that helped build the cities. Who the fuck knows? But how they did it, it's pretty obvious from the mutant shapes that we see, and on the ground you can see the paths they made. It's not.
Yeah.
What is he talking
Do
about?
you think that the people who worked on this, anybody ever found out how asymmetrical this thing is?
Probably not.
It triggers me a little bit just looking at it, because we always talk about how good the ancient people were at making things. And it's like, why is one's wing? And the answer is probably because you stand on a mountain somewhere and look over and see this, and the force of the perspective makes it look even. That's my
maybe. I don't know that they even had like a person looking over to make sure it looked right, though, because I mean, not every human is a Da Vinci. We could go back to the medieval art of cats to demonstrate that.
But they'd have to have been able to pace it out though. Remember, we talked about paces, 2.5 feet. That you think
I
they would
don't
be able to
know.
pace
I
out
think
the
they
wings?
winged it.
Yeah.
I feel like you could like they could have planned it out beforehand.
Yeah.
They could have, but I don't think they did.
It looks like I've done stuff like this on the Etch a Sketch, and and had similar results. Where I'm like, oh crap, I made one wing better than the other, but I wasn't putting that hundreds of man hours of labor to create
I've
it.
consulted Wikipedia. It says they were created between 500 BC and 500 AD by people making depressions or shallow incisions in the desert floor, removing pebbles and leaving different colored dirt exposed. That doesn't really explain it how they did it, though, does it?
Aliens,
Really?
right?
Mm.
Did you get
It
the
explains
chapter
how they
about
made the
aliens?
lines, just not necessarily the shapes.
We're never gonna get through this video.
No.
I mean, that's kind of how it goes. Also, I'm trying to find, like, because Google Earth lets you see
Take that
3D
angle,
topography.
yeah. Well, the Nazca
Yeah.
lines, they're spread out over a few kilometers, aren't they? But you can't see them.
Can't see him
Zoom
from
out a little
space.
bit, maybe.
Maybe we're
You
too
can see them
close.
from space.
I mean, technically, you can see a car's license plate from space if you have a high enough magnification.
I mean, like, this looks like this is in a Badland area, and like those are rode like crazy. Like, I don't.
Oh, then only if there's wind, though. Aren't these on the
Well, there's
no,
one-
Badlands are
on
rode
neutral
with
side.
rain as well.
They built an airport right across one, didn't they? So if you can find an airport, you should be nearby one.
Did they?
Yeah, because there's so freaking many around there.
All right.
Oh, is that?
I don't
Oh,
know.
there's one.
Aha!
There we go. Oh yeah, I was about to get. I just went and typed in longitude and latitude of the Nazca lines, and right when you said that,
Yeah, they are pretty faint.
I mean, like, there's a little rise over there. Otherwise, pretty flat in the immediate area. Unless they had some way to like magnify it from that mountain, which
Even
looks like that's
then,
a few
it'd be
kilometers
such an
away.
angle. Yeah.
When you're done, can you share my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna zoom in more.
get it, AJ.
So yeah, these are just theories. Although the website says that, at least the one I found says that, like what I think Ember said, that people wonder like why they did it, but how they did it is like not controversial, I guess. But
yeah, it's similar to the ones that you see in the British Isles, like the big naked dude on the
The
hillside.
giant with the
Yeah.
boner.
Yeah, it's just that was even easier actually, because they just like walk in a pattern until you cut through the grass. You basically make a dirt path, and people just keep walking it century after century to make sure grass doesn't grow back.
okay, I'm done.
Yep, I get it. And Purple Rhymes of Thorns points out, probably planned it out as a measure of how many steps a man took. It just happened that the guy who did the right wing had shorter steps than the guy who did the left wing.
Could
Yeah,
very
shorter-
easily be the
Could be.
case.
What did they call it earlier? A stride or
Yeah.
Paces.
paces?
Pacer,
He had shorter
stride, or-
paces. Yeah, he had a shorter pace than the other guy.
No, I don't want to loop
called the
this.
Nazca lines. They also produce thousands of carvings on burial stones. These stone carvings, which are known as the Ica stones, are an enigma. There have been over 16,000 of these remarkable stones found over the past 50 years. They contain images of daily life, battle scenes, agriculture practices, medical procedures, advanced technologies, and most amazingly, dinosaurs. Many skeptics.
Okay.
Advanced
Anyone want to
technology.
explain the ecostone, the dino ecostones? Anyone want to take a crack at it?
Yeah, they're someone made them for tourists to sell them to tourists. All they did was took images from coloring books and carved them into these stones with crude a set of dental tools. And then
it was a dentist who organized it, wasn't it?
I believe so. And then, as AJ said before, they covered them in chicken feces and baked them at really, really high temperatures for like a few days, and then would take them out, let them cool, and then like polish them.
Yep.
Really weird method, but yeah.
Well, it was to make them look older than they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So they could sell them to
images are
Carl
from color
all of
from
them...
1960s coloring books, though. They've
It's
actually
really
tracked down
interesting
some
how
of the
all of them-
images. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
They've actually tracked down some of the coloring books that some of them came from, but there's thousands of them because this guy kept buying them. He's like, oh, these are proof that dinosaurs live with man. He kept buying them and buying them, so they kept making more and more of them just to sell to him. And then he ended up with a collection of like 1,500.
And some of them show like men using telescopes and other like futuristic technology that would not have existed at the time these were supposedly carved.
Mm-hmm.
And the source has never been revealed, although we know the actual source.
If they did have telescopes, that would make the lines make a little more sense. But yeah, this was for like Carl Baugh and people like him who were like, oh my goodness, this is proof. I need to get this for my museum.
That's I found it. It was Cabrera's collection. That's the guy who had all the thousands of them. So if you're interested in knowing more about this, look that guy up. His whole life story is all about these stones.
Apparently, Wikipedia says that there are some that depict acts of bestiality, ichthyostones.
Oh boy.
Icky ichthyostones.
Yeah.
The icky stones.
No wonder Ken Hovind wanted them.
Mm-hmm. Does Ken Hovind own some? I would love to find out that Ken Hovind.
Yeah, he said that he paid $15,000 for them, like each one, because he has multiple. And then Eric Hovind stole them from his dad. Yeah.
Well, that explains why. So, several months ago, I did a deep dive onto Eric Hovind, and it turns out his net worth is around 14 million, or it was last year. His dad's only worth about 4 million. Now we know why, because he's got all those $15,000 stones.
Well, there was the giant cockroach fossil that Kit Hovind used to say he had too that disappeared. So I asked him about it. He said he didn't have it anymore. He acted like he wasn't sure what I was talking about, but I kind of pressed him on it. And he said, "Well, he has lots of things in his collection before that he doesn't have anymore through the years and stuff." It's like, dude, come on, let a giant cockroach fossil disappear.
Also, sorry, I'm just looking at the landscape again for the Nazca lines, and I just realized, I mentioned before, this is a landscape that can erode super easily. Mm-hmm. They could have just built a platform to view from above, and then all signs of it have just been eroded away over the intervening thousands of years.
A good point. They absolutely could have.
That's possibly one of the more obvious answers, and it just came to me.
I was thinking maybe they had hot air balloons or something, because it's not that hard to figure those out. But yeah, platforms are easy.
Just an observation tower.
Nazca lines and then modern cars in the same image. History Channel debunked.
Although a Beamsy did point out that apparently the original, older ones were done by the Paracas culture. And then apparently the Nazca continued it. Which, interesting.
I'll be right
It
back.
happens. Like after Mayan civilization fell, a lot of the traditions and belief systems were partially inherited by the subsequent peoples who lived in the region.
They put chicken feces on the Ica stones to try and give them an older appearance, so they didn't look like they were made 2 months ago.
Yeah, they're they stain, like it stains really easily, I think.
Skeptics have tried to debunk the Ica stones by saying that they are a modern-day creation, but the evidence indicates differently. In 1535, Spanish conquistadors came through Peru in the area where the Nazca Indians had lived. They reported finding stones with strange animals carved on them. The designs and patterns on the stones also indicate that they were authentic from the Nazca culture, and of the 16,000, only about 500 had carvings of dinosaurs on them. Consequently, many of the carvings have...
Okay, first, source, please.
Yeah, what was he says the evidence proves that they are basically real. What evidence? He just says there was evidence.
There were some stones back in the day. And so the fact that there were some stones means all the stones are authentic. Nobody ever fakes antiquities. That's just, no, that couldn't be.
No.
Well,
I'm
Beamsy
points
unconvinced.
out that. Go ahead.
No, I just said that I'm not convinced.
Well, Beamsy points out that apparently the fake Ica stones were drawn on a different type of rock than the actual ones. So it's kind of neat. Easy way to tell them apart.
have nothing to do with the dinosaurs whatever. They were simply observations from everyday life of the Nazca culture. In Acambaro, Mexico, since the 1960s, over 56,000 ancient clay figurines have been discovered. Many of these clay artifacts are sculptures of dinosaurs. The approximate age of these clay figures is around 4,500 years old. Many people have studied these figures, and the opinion of their authenticity is divided. Most who have no preconceived biases believe that they are genuine, but others who
no preconceived
nice
biases. No preconceived biases. The photo is sourced from Bible.ca.
What was the location he said these were from again?
Middle of Mexico?
Lake Titicaca?
Yeah, no biases. So, I mean, I guess that comes down to what you consider to be a null bias. Like, are you going and looking at something as a skeptic? Like, I don't believe it until I see evidence. Or are you going in going, oh, well, people are generally honest, so I'm only going to disbelieve it if there's evidence in that direction.
Sorry, I'm reading.
You found a what now?
Oh, I'm reading. So, here is an evaluation by an archaeologist.
Oh, he actually found a local family that was manufacturing the damn things. I mean, that proves they're authentic, right?
Yeah. Just like, wow. Like, literally on Wikipedia, man. Like, when you can be disproven by Wikipedia, you need to do a little harder. You try a little harder.
I am enjoying the fact that we're debunking shit left and right with just a few seconds of Googling. Like, this guy did no research,
And hey, we have learned a couple neat little things too. Like, hey, that's what the theater does. Theater is fun.
believe that the dinosaurs died off millions of years ago state that they remain skeptical in spite of the radiocarbon dating and investigative evidence that points to their authenticity.
Wait, this guy
16th century Aztecs
dating?
produced this dragon sculpture.
Why?
What was that?
He's using carbon dating as proof of the authenticity of this, when creationists usually don't accept carbon dating as valid.
Well, they have It is valid when it can work for their purposes.
Ah,
Why would you use carbon dating on clay?
maybe it had some life forms mixed in with it.
Well, so if the clay has been fired or like you've used a glaze on it, those are usually from organic matter, so you can carbon date. We can carbon date like fired ceramics. I know that's a thing.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you can get carbon dating on pottery, like if there's paints and pigments and various things like that. I don't know about the firing though, because I'd think that would add carbon and contaminate the age of the sample. But I mean, like just shaped clay, it does. It's
Mm.
it's not respirating, you know?
I don't know if they would add radioactive carbon.
I mean, if you're burning wood, like there's going to be a C14 in the wood.
Okay, that's true.
Oops. See. Sorry, my brain just is it C13 or C14?
14.
C4, yeah, C14.
Okay, yeah, my brain just
Yeah, 13's unstable too, but it's got like a stupid short half-life.
Well,
I'm back. And I did want to add before you move on. Sorry, I just had to run to the bathroom.
You're fine.
But when you were talking about the pottery, a lot of the clay when they were working it, they would mix in different organic materials too to give it different consistencies, and they would also sometimes use like woven almost armatures just to give the clay something to grab onto when they bake it.
Oh, like a soft rebar kind of situation. Yeah. Beamsy also points out that authentic Mesoamerican pottery was lightly fired and painted. So those could be dated. These
yeah, you can date
figurines, though,
paints
I'm still sus.
Can
And-
Beamsy be carbon dated though?
Maybe. Although, so
We had to kill him
again
first.
from reading some results on Google, apparently, well, a lot of pottery is used for like, dishes for like food. And when you have food, a lot of food has fats in it. And carbon 14 in the fat can sort of leach into the pottery. So it can at least give you some idea of the last time it might have been used as a dish.
I can kind of see that. For dishes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eatery and things. Now I'm wondering about
The face
dating the oldest forks.
resembles a dinosaur
Oh, hey, I see Sue. You be nice to Sue.
like the Tyrannosaurus rex. Several other South American and Central American civilizations have produced similar sculptures.
Can I
These
ask what a
side-by-side
Tyrannosaurus Rex has to
comparisons-
do with South America?
Well, you
So-
see, it looks like a maple leaf.
So, a family in Mexico created clay figurines to sell to a guy based on movies that were in their local theater. Some of them included T-Rexes, so they made T-Rex figurines. And now he's saying that there are various figurines and statues from all over South and Central America that kind of look like a T-Rex. Yes, it is that stupid.
Okay, well, that's sensible though. I mean, it's sensible that your explanation makes sense. That someone will be dumb enough to buy that. Probably an American, right? American tourist, maybe
Carol
from
Baugh.
the UK. But
German tourist.
German.
Actually,
Oh,
I didn't
nice.
see that coming.
it was Valdemar Jursrud.
He sounds like a villain.
hardware
too.
merchant.
Sounds like he'd be out like trying to make dinosaurs come back to life or something. He could get all these stones and line them up just right.
It sounds like he then sold them to young Earth creationists, so
I mean, if there's a market
He
for
came
it.
out on top then.
yeah, he's like he's like another or some more people we'll get to later in the video, actually.
He's an
Are very
antiquities
revealing.
merchant.
These Central Andes artifacts bear a striking resemblance to dinosaurs like Tyrannosaurus rex and Ceratosaurus.
Ah, yes, the very similar dinosaurs. T-Rex and
South America.
Ceratosaurus.
These very famous South American dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm. And of course, he also had to pick a famously incorrect-looking Ceratosaurus from pop culture, not the actual animal.
This guy has a cult following though, this Ceratosaurus. If you look, there's chibis of him and all kinds of stuff. He's got like his following.
Hey, I'm not saying Ceratosaurus isn't a cool dino. It's just that it's not an accurate reconstruction. Because Ceratosaurus is a pretty cool dinosaur. It's pretty neat. There's a reason why Dapper is a Ceratosaurus.
And these Mexican figurines created some
Oh, look, a turtle.
time between 300 BC
Oh, look, a turtle pipe.
to 300 AD could be replicas of the dinosaur Ankylosaurus.
It could be.
Could be.
China, an ancient land shrouded in dragon lore and mystery. The Chinese calendar, or
Oh,
zodiac,
this
Or
which was developed
fucking
as early
racist shit. Mysterious
Or-
Orient dragon people.
And they put up the calendar.
I missed that. What?
Just
Oh,
it didn't
mystery.
say Orient.
the Chinese calendar, or zodiac, which was
He said the culture was steeped in dragon lore, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mysterious people.
Oh,
The far
I
off
got this
cultures
calendar
of
from a
the-
Chinese restaurant.
Yes.
Apparently
Well-
during the year of the dog, so 1994.
Right? Could be
Oh,
from
That was
82.
that was
A
the
lot of
year
these
that
are
they let the
outdated.
dogs out.
Who?
Oh, now we know. Solved that mystery anyway. Check.
Yeah, now I'm actually now I'm curious. What are your Chinese zodiacs, if you know them?
I'm Year of the Pig.
I'm a Chinese Gemini.
I am a monkey.
Hmm.
Which
I am a
explains a
pig.
lot, frankly.
Yeah, a pig and a monkey. That sounds right.
What were you, AJ?
Let's.
Are you a cock?
I have to look it up.
Beamsy's a cock. Maya's a sheep.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise
Oh,
me.
it goes by year.
Jedi's a wooden dragon.
Snake.
Oh, same here.
Aunt Jer's a sheep.
Wow.
Sometimes
Wait,
a
are you
ram.
12
Yep.
years older than me, or are we the same age?
I assume we're the same age, except for a couple of months.
Both born in
2001?
1989.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all so young.
Uh,
And why do I
I
feel
think I'm
old?
closer to your age. I'm 1983. You're 1980, aren't you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a cock between us.
That's
and a
always
dog.
the problem, isn't it?
And a dog. And AJ is between us too.
Literally.
AJ, a cock and a dog.
Oh, dragon. I could have just looked on here. I didn't even have to Google it.
Yeah, it's what I did too, is I just read around the chart till I got to whatever was mine. But I know the argument he's going to make. All these other animals really exist, so the dragon must too, right?
That's what the people do with the Sasquatch when they have the totem poles and have like eagles and foxes and bears. And the Sasquatch, like, oh, that proves it. It's real. They put it with the animals. It's like, okay, slow down, pump the brakes, kitty cat. Let's look at it more
Oh,
rationally.
Victoria makes a really good point. The years don't align with our calendar. Remember, Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year is in like February-ish.
I'm
So
pretty
we may all be
sure
off a
I'm
little.
Snake.
I don't. I'm just gonna say that's the same. I'm just gonna ignore that because I can't like do the math to figure out what.
Yeah, no, I am Snake. I am definitely Snake.
Developed as early as 1000 BC, has on it 12 animals, 11 of which are alive today. But the 12th, the
Hey, who called it?
dragon,
I mean,
merely a legend? Or is it based on a real animal, the dinosaur? It doesn't seem logical that the ancient Chinese, when
that's a
constructing their
false
zodiac,
dichotomy.
would include one.
It's not a matter of is it mythology or is it based on a dinosaur? I mean, it's mythology, obviously, but it doesn't have to be just those two options. It could be based on something else, like, say, giant snakes, or even possibly crocodiles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Snake is already on there.
Shh. You could have two snakes.
Okay.
I'm just gonna pop this up here.
Damn it, Beamsy.
Never looked into the element one. Oh, okay. So if Google is correct, then I am a solid snake. I belong in Metal Gear.
Hell yeah.
One mythical animal with 11
love Metal
common
Gear.
animals. A more rational explanation would be that the dragon, which is mentioned so often in ancient Chinese history, is now extinct or very rare. Here are
Is
I
it
will say I've
mentioned
never
in
played
history, though?
It's mentioned on
historical
this placemat that I got from a Chinese
stories.
restaurant.
Yeah, but on the topic of Metal Gear, though, never played it. I have a lot of the music on my playlist.
Are you serious?
Good.
You've never played it?
I haven't. I love the music. I've never played it.
You need to get you an emulator, yo.
I love the music
I
as well.
have several.
Well, then play Metal Gear Solid. Well, it's kind of dated, but I played all of them.
There's some frustrating parts to the first Metal Gear Solid. I don't know if that's the first one. If I had to suggest starting somewhere, I wouldn't start with.
Yeah, but you have to. That's where the story starts.
Yeah, okay, that's true. The gameplay gets a lot better.
It holds up. It does. It actually does hold up. Just if you're gonna play it, you just need a walkthrough. That's all.
Yeah, my problem is I have a lot of games in my backlog that I need to finish. I don't want to take on another one right now. I have way too many I need to do.
a few examples of Chinese dragons that look extraordinarily like dinosaurs. Could this be some type of sauropod, like the Brachiosaurus?
Could
This
it be?
Chinese pottery artifact looks very similar to the hadrosaur.
It looks like a maple leaf. These
Yes,
guys.
It looks very like a hadrosaur.
Why not?
I love it.
I forgot my crack pipe tonight.
It's got a beak.
Does
a
the real
it's
dinosaur
a
have a handle?
Yes, it does. Well, that's what a Parasaurolophus is. It has a handle.
This is my handle. This is my spout.
Hit me over and fire on your face.
Well, they breathe fire through their nostrils. I guess not. Oh yeah, that is why they had that shaped skull, was because no, look, there's the one with smoke coming out of its nostrils.
That's actually cool art though. Like
You don't want
stupid
to.
idea, but it's inspired some pretty cool paleo art.
It's better than the two gay dinosaurs.
Which ones?
The green one is super gay.
He's fabulous, and the other one is flaming.
Yeah.
Poor Ceratosaurus.
And this 3rd century BC ornamental box appears to have sauropod dinosaurs built onto it as handles.
See? Handles.
This 2,500-year-old Chinese dragon closely resembles a creature like a Diplodocus. Central Asia, with its dense rainforests and jungles, is home to many stories about strange dinosaur-like monsters, and the artifacts that have been found are quite revealing. The similarities that these monsters and dragons have with dinosaurs is undeniable, and coupled with the modern and ancient stories of monsters that continue to be seen in the jungles.
You know, you can keep saying that. I don't think you know what you're talking about, but you can keep saying it, I guess.
Sure.
Leads many to believe that one day
What dinosaur does this look like?
A lion.
Doc, can you add my comment on the screen? I think it's very relevant.
Yeah. Yeah, Dachshund looks like a hot dog.
Oh, thank you, Big Bad Mama.
Oh, Big Bad Mama knows about Mokele Membe. I can't even pronounce it. Membe.
Mokele Mbembe.
Mokele Mbembe.
There we go. I remember hearing about that from the Art Bell special about dinosaurs back in the 80s.
I remember I first heard about it from a fiction book that was in my library when I was in school. It was, I think it was something like Monster Hunters or something. Like they went to the Congo to try and capture and save Mokele Mbembe, rather than let it fall into the hands of, honestly, this guy who was weirdly like Ken Ham.
Are you talking about the movie Baby?
We gotta bring it to the Ark.
No, but he had a zoo called the Ark. He really just sounded like Ken Ham. Now that I know who he is.
Oh no.
What is it? Mokele Mbembe book? Oh man, now I have to. I gotta try to find this now. This is gonna bug me. Also, I'm looking for Mokele Mbembe, not Michelle Obama.
I mean, are you sure they're not the same person? I've never seen them in the same room at the same time. Pinworm, I think, tried to send a member chat, but I'm all it shows is the green box. It didn't show anything with it. If you tried to send a chat, Pinworm, just type it. No. Try. Yeah.
I think they signed up for a channel membership on my channel. Pretty sure, because it says member for 2 months. So thank you, Pinworm. I know Kent Hovind co-wrote a book with some person about dinosaurs, like Claws, Jaws, and Dinosaurs. So that could be it, because it's talking about a search for hidden animals. Gibbons, the co-author, it says Gibbons. His name is Gibbons. Gibbons has been to the Congo 3 times, as well as on many other expeditions, gathering evidence of the few small dinosaurs that are still alive today. It doesn't say might be still alive today. Ages 7 and up.
I found it. I found it. It's called Cryptid Hunters.
Ah,
Ooh, I want to watch that, and find it. And
It
is it worth
it was a
laughing at? Or
really fun. It was a fun few books.
you know, I like cheesy stuff like that. Though I liked Primeval when that was on. You remember that series from the UK from the BBC?
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Gorgonopsids.
the bad guy's name was Noah Blackwood. Who
Nice.
I think he was an Australian dude who had a zoo called something Ark.
Hey, I have a question for the
Prophecy.
panel.
Yeah.
eBay says that they have Kent Hovind's Algebra Homeschool Series DVD set, and there's only one left. Should I buy it?
I guess it depends on price.
It says $16, but it's got 4 discs.
I mean, for 16, it might be worth a look at least.
And the money's not going to Kent.
Oh, that's even better. Because I
Yeah.
paid at least 16 for this book from the Standing for Truth fucknuts. I still haven't even had time to really go through it.
It says 20 have already been sold.
Wow.
Who's buying these?
Does anybody still... Okay, here's a real modern first world problems question. Do any of you still have DVD players?
My parents.
I have a USB one. I asked that on my chat, and some people got offended. They're like, "Yes, I still have one."
It's weird, right? Like, I don't know. I went to a local vendor fair thing for Halloween a couple of years ago because Halloween stuff is awesome, and there was a local film studio that had produced some movies and was selling them on DVD, and I'm like, hey, I love Halloween stuff, I love scary movies, I enjoy supporting creatives and artists, particularly filmmakers, because there's not nearly enough independent filmmakers running around. So screw it, I'll buy one. And I got one, and I got home, and I realized I don't have a DVD player. I have 2 computers, neither one has a drive. Whoops.
Well, wait, do you have a wow, I was about to say PlayStation. I'm becoming my mother. Do you have a
I have a
do you have, like, a
PlayStation,
game
a
console?
PlayStation
A lot
5.
of those will play DVDs.
I have no consoles. I have a few Steam games on my laptop, but that's all I got. My upstairs housemates do have PlayStations and Xboxes, and they offered to let me use it, but I just never got around to it, so I still haven't watched the damn movie.
Oh, thank you, Pinmurray.
Another super chat.
Sweet.
Yeah. I saw that it said that you were a channel member. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Do you guys know if a PS5 will play DVDs?
I know PS2s did. And I think PS3s did.
I don't think mine mine doesn't have a drive for that. I just bought one without the disc drive. So
Oh, you fucked up.
Wait,
yeah,
but you got a game console that doesn't have a disc drive?
It's a digital version.
Okay,
we have truly evolved. Holy shit!
There's a physical science homeschool set. I think I'm gonna get this one instead of the algebra one.
Oh yeah, that could be much more fun than algebra. I worry about how Kent would teach algebra, honestly.
Oh, there's a digital download. Oh, but that's on drdino.com.
Oh.
Well, is the download free?
No, it's $20.
No.
Yeah, at least with eBay, I'd go into somebody else. Yeah,
Beamsy says PS5s play DVDs.
Okay, cool. I'm for sure getting these then.
And on screen is the cover of the book I was talking about. And Bree, there is actually something kind of interesting about the way they portray Michele and Mbembe in here.
Yeah.
So you see the dinosaur here on the page. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to represent the male. Because the male, they find a male and a female. The male seems to be like a theropod. and the female is more like a sauropod. Like they have very distinct sexual dimorphism. But they're both carnivorous.
Why are they carnivorous? Isn't Mochila Mimbe supposed to be like sauropod?
It is, but in the book they decided to make it carnivorous.
Okay, interesting.
So I decided to head over to drdino.com to see if anything jumped out at me, and I noticed that how long ago did Kent's channel get taken down? And the video is still, the YouTube account associated with this video has been terminated. I thought that was funny enough to share.
Wow. Wow, Kent's too cheap to host his own videos. Who'd have seen it? Oh dear. Anyway, yeah, let's get back to this like rabid tiger looking thing.
Today, one of these rare creatures could be captured or killed. This 12th century Cambodian temple, constructed in 1186 AD, is home to a very interesting dinosaur artifact. The temple is covered with ornate designs and stone carvings on its exterior. This carving...
Cross it off your bingo cards, people. It's a freaking Cambodian rhinoceros.
Carving of a stegosaurus-like dinosaur was found on the temple wall. As late as the 1800s, the Dayak culture of Borneo was producing artwork with dinosaurs on them. This water fountain on a Hindu temple built in the 1800s looks very similar to the Triceratops. There have been several other findings like this throughout Asia, including these two 10th century AD.
No!
That one's an elephant.
That's what I was supposed to say. It looks like
bear a close resemblance to several types of...
What are you smoking? Oh, wow.
We should be looking for what he's smoking, not watching his video. Apparently it's some good shit.
Jeez.
Topsid dinosaurs. European history is filled with dragon artwork, sculptures, and artifacts. These not only include the popular look of dragons seen in much of the artwork, but also include many other fascinating creatures that look very similar to dinosaurs. The Palestrina mosaic from around 100 AD has several animals depicted that appear to be extinct and prehistoric. Why would the Roman culture place prehistoric extinct creatures within...
Wait, what creatures? Like,
why would they put here there be dragons on the maps if there weren't dragons on the maps?
Documents and artwork. The obvious answer is that they existed together and they recorded what they observed.
Why would the Egyptians build a sphinx if there weren't a real sphinx?
And also, can anyone tell what that is?
It's a little small.
It's a duck.
It is a
lobster.
Sloth.
Crab people.
Giant ground sloth. A Therizinosaurus. A Calicothere.
I'm sticking with crab people. The oval shape is the body, and that's the little pincer claw. The crab people are invading ancient Rome. Prove me wrong.
Here we see a Dienosaurus, which means terrible pig. The Dienosaurus was supposed to have died off about 24 million years ago, and here we see several men fighting what appears to be a type of quadruped dinosaur.
Appears to be.
Now, when I heard this earlier today, I had to stop and rethink what the hell I just heard. So I'm just gonna play it again real quick.
Here we see a dinohyus, which means terrible pig. The dinohyus was supposed to have died off about 24 million years ago, and here we see several men fighting what appears to be a type of quadruped dinosaur.
A dinohyus is not a dinosaur, first and foremost. Now, when it comes to the anatomy of a dinohyus, one thing that you'll notice about it that has in common with a lot of other what's the group with the dolphins and whales? Anyway, other members of that group is they tend to lack a neck. That's a distinguishing feature. They're very neckless. The main thing I notice about this organism is its craned, swanning neck.
Yeah, it also it doesn't look like a freaking dinohyus. But yeah, I mentioned it earlier. He hears dino and he thinks it has to be a dinosaur, even though it
Yeah, I'm sure
does
you
look
would think
like a
dinos
dinosaur.
Because definitely it has a neck. I mean,
It's just, yeah, this is obviously a quadrupedal dinosaur. Pain.
We do this for fun. That's what I keep telling myself.
I'm giggly as hell about this, so it's cool. This makes me giggle. The only part that makes me sad is when Doc scrolls down to the bottom of the video at the end and shows us how many likes and loves this thing has.
Only
Not too many,
340
actually.
likes out of 11K views, or almost 12. That's not great.
You know.
Well, I'm sure all our channels combined have at least that many views, so it's fine.
It's just that how many people like just enjoy this and think, "Oh, this is true. This is the truth bombs getting dropped." And it's like, no.
Yeah, I wish I could see if people actually said that, but me. Oh,
Uh,
Wait, did you say combined we have as many views as this video?
I was being facetious. I know.
Okay.
You have multiple videos that have way more views than that.
Yeah, we bow before your excellent content creation skills, AJ. It's definitely shows the hard work you put in.
Well,
we shudder before the great girth.
I have 25 videos with 10,000 views or more.
That's girthy.
Nice. No, I may have counted them, but
yeah.
I think one of mine is near 1,000, and I am happy.
I only have one video with over 10,000, and I'm not. Yeah, it's not anything to do with my content though. Is the problem? So I'm not going to count that one.
Oh, yep, I have one that has 840. So, yay. Ooh, although I do have a stream that's almost 1,000.
Is it this one?
No,
because this one's fucking amazing.
This is a beautiful stream. Us sitting here counting our subscribers.
It was the farewell to K*NT.
I did enjoy telling Kent Hovind that more people watch my channel than his to his face. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, that's a nice touch. Actually, come to think of it, my most viewed video also has you in it, AJ. It was when you and Amy Newman and James W. and Andrew Corning and everybody kind of ganged up on Kent and made him admit all his arguments were bad until he got to the point where he just reset and then ran away. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I think you watched one of my videos with Mark Reed or something like that. I'm not sure. I know you had a video where you would watch one of my videos. That's how I found your channel, because you had tagged me.
Yeah, that was a I didn't actually want to engage with SFT myself, but I was there that night, and then Mark Reed came in right after Kent, or right as Kent was leaving. So since Mark missed the actual Rumble with Kent, that was Mark and I. That was our first debate review, I think, or maybe our second. I don't know. It was a while ago, but it was fun.
Yeah, it's always fun collabing with Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Though, so I don't want to sound like certain annoying people, but I almost feel like Donnie is running from a debate with me because like I sent him like a challenge over a month ago, and yeah, nothing.
Well, he was sick recently.
Yeah, but it was over a month ago, and I've talked with
You
him
should follow
on
up.
his streams since then. Yeah,
You
I've
should-
followed up multiple times.
Yeah.
He keeps saying, "Oh, we're thinking of or we might have found someone." Stuff like that.
Yeah, he wants to watch Kent debate people. He doesn't want to debate people himself.
Mm. Oh, well.
Yep.
Found at Carlisle Cathedral on the tomb of Bishop Richard Bell,
I think
who
we'll go
died in
for a few more
1496,
minutes.
are these two brass engravings.
Okay.
Real engravings have curves.
Here are two dinosaurs depicted in a 2nd century Roman inscription.
Are they, though?
The Thracians were a group of Indo-European tribes who spoke the Thracian language and thrived from 3200 BC to 500 BC. This Thracian helmet is adorned with an ornament that looks much like a Centosaurus. Look at the ornament in comparison to skeletal remains.
Are you serious?
For fuck's sake.
Oh.
And drawings. Many other ancient cultures throughout.
Oh, hey, it's like snakeopards or something. It's a thing in Egyptian art. Like they're leopards with snake necks.
Oh, it kind of reminds me of the Caduceus from Greek mythology.
I mean, maybe one was inspired by the other, but I know this is a
I'm
thing
sure.
in Egyptian mythology.
History have given us artwork, sculptures, and artifacts that point to the existence of dinosaurs and man together.
Well,
Yes, anything with a
that might
long
be
neck.
that might be a camel.
Take a look at a few more of these amazing artifacts.
Like, what do you think that is?
Some kind of, is that the Kama Sutra?
Hydra.
A camel.
Hail Hydra.
This almost looks like two giraffes having sex. Like, seriously.
Take a look at a few more of these amazing artifacts.
Fun fact about giraffes, they do like gay sex. Like, a lot.
Oh, you mean like most mammals?
Yeah. So it turns out if you can stick your then it's good and you just enjoy it and that's okay.
Radical fresh takes here on this channel.
Yeah.
This amazing cave drawing was found in Wapatki National Park, Arizona. It is thought to be around 1,000 years old. At Bridges National Monument in Utah, the Anasazi Indians made this cave drawing several thousand years ago. This ancient cylinder seal was found in Mesopotamia.
Yeah, all right. From here, he really does he keeps going. So I feel like we can kind of call that good, actually.
You made it 19 minutes. 19 minutes into a hour and 4-minute long video that was just
like we've already hit most of the things I wanted to talk about. From here, he just goes through other like mythology, and he just keeps going. It
Yeah,
just
I saw Champ flash up there. Like,
I just saw the rope in too. Did I miss the rope in?
yep. Let's see. I can probably just skip to the roping.
Roping, roping, roping. Skipping to the roping. Kangamoto's not a roping. The roping glows in the dark.
nice.
Oh, he does get into the Bible a lot, actually, in the latter third.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. Unless there's
Yeah.
something that pops out as he's scrolling over here that you see, Ember. Oh, go to the one that said
all
showed
the
the Loch
sea
Ness monster,
monsters.
where it showed it by the buoy. It was like a drawing.
Oh, wait, actually. So he says
That
this is a baby Loch Ness monster.
is a
Sure.
taxidermied fish called cut up to do. They actually X-rayed this. And you can see all the taxidermied stuff in it. It's a fish
Wait,
taxidermied to
really?
look like a monster. Yep. Who would have
Oh,
thought that you could do that, huh?
I thought it was just like a weird plastic thing.
Nope. There is really that the buoy.
Yep,
That
there we go.
someone died in this one. That's what makes it such an interesting story.
Eyewitness sketch.
The sheer number and also the valid testimonies of people of reputable character make these sightings hard to deny.
Oh, valid testimony.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
basically
it's
all
just
he says
he
about
just
it.
used the drawing without the story. That story is
Yep.
fucked up because someone really did drown and someone really did say, yeah, a fucking sea monster came and ate them. I think there's something more sinister going on, or maybe they saw a shark or something and didn't know how to process it, but didn't see because they described it with having like a sea turtle like head and stuff. It's like sea turtles can't really. I mean, could you imagine getting killed by a sea turtle? Look at that face.
It'd be pretty freaking slow.
Yeah. Guess for your jellyfish, that's actually something to be scared of. Your jellyfish quiver in terror at Ember's screen right now.
Yeah, Ember has
Beware
one
the turtle. The great Atune will come for you.
Beautiful.
Oh boy. Well,
Okay, so
anyone have any-
I'm convinced.
Anyone have any last thoughts on the do dinosaurs live with man other than me, of course, and birds?
Well, that's what I was just going to say. It's like we've known before we even started that the great god Turkey, who sacrificed himself so that we could all eat every Thanksgiving, is clearly a real being, and his children are still all around North America. At least it's it's pretty clear. There's dinosaurs everywhere. But yeah, it's a very convincing video. I'm sold on the fact that dinosaurs clearly continued, non-avian dinosaurs continued to exist at least until the Civil War, right?
Well, that's
We've
when we
seen,
have photos.
we've all
I'm
seen the
genuinely
photos.
surprised
Yeah.
he doesn't bring that up. Actually,
That was a long video.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, a little bit. Ah, well. Bree, any thoughts?
Well, as far as the dinosaurs, I'm convinced now. It wasn't actually the video that convinced me though. It was your all's inability to debunk any of it. I was just like, these are softballs, guys. You couldn't step up to the plate. And it was embarrassing. I'm embarrassed that we got defeated so hard by this video that we had to stop 20 minutes in.
I
Throwing our white
apologize.
flag.
Although
Yeah.
I do have to say, Ember, I love this thumbnail.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Yeah. Tinfoil time. Well, thank you for having me. I love cryptozoology, as you know. So I'm glad we got to talk about some living dinosaurs and some BS like that, because that's always fun.
Actually, cryptids do sound fun. Maybe I'll try to figure out something like dedicated cryptid stuff next video.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's oh goodness. I personally I feel like we failed because we accidentally learned some things.
Oh, how dare we? How dare we learn?
Right? What are we even doing here?
Ugh.
Hate learning.
Are we done? Are we done dunking on each other about how bad we failed tonight, guys? Anybody got anything coming up they want to plug? Nope.
Well, that's a nope.
AJ, come on, you got something coming up, right?
I don't have anything planned. Just, my channel has always got something coming out. I want to do more debates, but like there's no like platform that's good to do debates on, in my opinion, right now. It's kind of a shame.
Mark Reed moderates from time to time. You might be able to like do something on his channel, possibly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
but also finding like a good opponent is really
that's the tricky part. Yeah, Beamsy's
Yeah.
working on it.
I mean,
I know there's
what would
other
you be
projects
interested
in the works
debating?
to get some better platforms out there.
Hmm.
It's a work in progress. But yeah, I've got stuff, scheduled content coming out every Saturday, sometimes bonus content, and random live streams. Who knows when they might pop up? One might pop up tomorrow. We'll see. Head over to my channel, ring the bell so you don't miss any.
That's pretty much how I do my streams. It's just when I feel like it.
I try to plan them out, but my schedule is so screwed. This job changeover and everything's in chaos. I'm hoping things settle down soon, but for the moment, I'm kind of winging it.
So, actually, I do have a bit of an update, kinda.
Oh yeah?
So I think I've mentioned before on a couple streams, I'm gonna be cleaning up some fossils soon, some big ones.
Yes. You get to
And
play with the artifacts.
and I might have a tentative ID on what I'm gonna be cleaning, actually. After I stumbled across a paper that goes over the fossil remains in the specific area I'm looking at, and there is one genus that seems to be fitting the bill quite nicely from the couple bones I have.
And these are the
Large,
bones that you need football players to help lift, yes?
yeah, they big. Um, it appears that it might be a Chimerosaurus, which is a
A
rather
chimera.
large sauropod.
Whoa.
I get to clean the femur down here and the humerus.
Make us
So
proud, okay?
I'll try. I'm planning to start on the humerus because it's got a lot more rock there that I can screw up with while I'm getting used to the material.
You know what?
Oh.
You had the perfect opportunity to say I wanted to start with the humorous because it's more funny, but just let it fall.
Well, I was going to say, Doc, no funny business.
We're after the same joke, weren't we, Ember? We're such
Yep.
we're so old.
It's true.
Yeah, that's basically all the news I got. I'm gonna be starting on a big project soon, and it's
Literally.
gonna take some time.
Oh, that's very cool, though. I'm envious.
Yeah.
If I get the new
I'm
job, I'm just going to
volunteering
pick
to
stuff
clean
up
it,
and put stuff
actually.
down.
It sounds exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Hoping.
E.
Basically, all we can really hope for right now is that it's not just all dust inside the jacket, because there's a non-zero chance it could be, because the type of plaster they use to encase it isn't the best, and it was wrapped
Oh.
60 years ago.
Wow. They have a bit of a backlog, do they?
More so, no one's ever wanted to pick up the 300-pound slab of rock and clean it.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah,
What if you
understandable.
find out something new and amazing, though?
I mean, if it turns out well, like there'll be something new and big for the teaching collection.
Now, do they have a whole skeleton there, and you're just working on a couple of bones, or is that like just random samples that they've had in the back room, just because?
But basically, random samples. All we really know is that they were discovered in the 60s. Back then, fossil laws were a lot more lax than they are today. So basically, as long as you had a verbal agreement with a landowner, you could just go on their land and grab whatever you found. Now you have to do a little bit more paperwork. Because, we found out fossils can be worth money.
Yay, capitalism.
Yeah, so we have them. They just need cleaned. And it's going to take a bit. The femur is a solid 5 feet long. The humerus is 2 to 3. It's still pretty big.
That's what she said. I blame Beamsy for that. Yeah. I actually have the sound effect for that. I'm just
Nice.
You had this that whole time, and I said the humorous made the humorous joke, and you didn't
listen. I've been away from my desk for 2 months. I can't remember what half of these buttons do.
Oh dear. Though with that, I think we can bring it to a close. Thank you everybody for joining. Hope people had fun suffering with us. And yeah, have a good night, folks, or day, wherever you are. I know we have Aussie viewers. See you around.